You're looking at the Audi R8 e-tron. 280 kilowatts of power, 820 newton meters of torque, and 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 4.2 seconds, all without a single drop of petrol.
Now, if all that sounds like something out of a futuristic movie, well, that's because it sort of is. But we've travelled to an unused airport in Berlin to test the R8 as a real-world driving proposition.
You might recognise this car from several scenes of the new Iron Man 3 movie, but special effects aside, it does have some strong real-world credentials. Audi has built 10 prototypes of the R8 e-tron and was originally due to launch the car in the near future. Unfortunately, that venture has now been canned because the exercise wasn't considered profitable.
And that makes this car the closest thing that we're going to get to a production version. And I can tell you that's a terrible shame for Audi and for motorists in general. This car is unbelievable. Now I've just changed it to automatic mode, which takes advantage of Audi's torque vectoring technology. Been given the green light and off we go. 40, 60, 80, 100 kilometers an hour, 4.2 seconds. This track at Tempelhof in Berlin is actually quite suitable for the R8 as well. That's because it's so tight, it's like a go-kart track. Where something like the V10 R8 would step out all the time, this thing handles brilliantly. It's controlled and poised through corners. And while this car is a little bit heavier than the petrol-powered versions, it's not as though you really notice it through corners. It still feels fantastic. Now, as we're driving this thing, and I'm just going through the motions now, all the while your foot's off the accelerator, it's actually recuperating the batteries to regenerate the energy. You put your foot down, and it sounds like a golf buggy on steroids.
The R8 e-tron is propelled by two 140 kilowatt electric motors, one on each rear wheel. Tipping the scales at 1,780 kilos, the e-tron weighs 210 kilos more than the V10 powered petrol R8. Other lessons taken from the R8 e-tron project, including brake-by-wire technology, carbon fibre and aluminium chassis, and e-torque vectoring system, are likely to appear in the next petrol R8.
Now, as if this car wasn't already agile enough, the torque vectoring technology takes it to another level again, basically transferring power between the rear wheels as you go through corners. And this is probably the 14th or 15th lap we've had of this 60-second circuit, and I've fallen in love with this thing. It is magic. So much fun to drive. It's such a great shame that Audi's bean counters have won this decision because this car is incredible.
Fortunately, not all is lost by Audi's decision to scrap the R8 project, even for the average consumer. Audi says it is now injecting the technology into its next generation of hybrid and electric cars. Australia will get the first taste of the technology when the Audi A3 e-tron lands in 2015.